May the peace and blessings of Allah be with you, dear viewers, and welcome to your program Fatawa. We are broadcasting live from Iqraa studio, and I have the pleasure to have with us tonight Dr. Samin Mandour, Professor at Al-Azhar University. Welcome, Professor.
Thank you very much.
We're going to talk about a very special topic tonight in Islam, the Zakat, and we're going to give you the definition and the importance of Zakat. We're going to go beyond a simple definition and talk about the difference between Zakat and Sadaqah, which is charity. Before starting, we would like to remind you that we have useful information to share with you in order for you to be able to call us. You can call us on the numbers appearing on the screen: 002023388 7591, Skype Iqraa Fatawa, via email fatawa@iqraa.com, facebook.com/Iqraa France, and Twitter @Iqraa TV France. Peace be with you, Professor.
We hope so, sir.
Shall we start immediately? As Zakat, we have received many questions regarding the definition of a Zakat and money in general. How shall we deal with this topic? This is what we are going to see immediately with our guest, Dr. Samin Mandour. So, Dr. Samin, Zakat al-Fitr and Zakat Al Mal. Shall we give a definition first?
In the name of God, the most gracious, the most merciful, peace be with you, dear viewers, and welcome to your program, Fatawa. And we have the pleasure also to have also peace and blessings of Allah be upon His Messenger Muhammad. The Zakat is very important subject that we can talk. It's one of the basis or of the pillars of Islam, and as you know, the Islam is based on 5 pillars, and without these 5 pillars, the build is facing a real threat. And to do not destroy the Islam, because Islam is the religion of God. And as we know that if you try to preserve this perfect religion with ourselves, so we have to accomplish these 5 pillars, and we have also to preserve this, as we said, to preserve these 5 pillars, to face with courage and with power all these threats. The Zakat, it's a pillar, as we said, a pillar of the Islam, of the religion. So because it's built on the 5 pillars, as we said, the first is how to witness and attestation, to certify that God is one God, and the third pillar is it's how to pay the Zakat, and about the 4th pillar is fasting, and the 5th pillar is how the pilgrimage, as mentioned in different lectures. These are the 5 pillars of Islam. So when we talk about the Zakat as a prescription, divine prescription, subject to all the Muslims. But first of all, what is the Zakat? The Zakat is, when we talk about the Zakat is what we mean, it's Zakah wa Zakah. What we said, it's to increase or to increase something, or it's a purification, and between the purification or strengthening, there is also a certain relation between these terms. The objective of the Zakat is to clarify the definition. As mentioned in the Quran, God said, and was talking to His messenger, to the Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon of him, So we have to take Sadaqah. I will not say the Zakat or Sadaqah. It's the charity to purify, and here it's not purified. What we mentioned here, it has another sense. It's something, it's how to purify other goods, and how to purify at the same time to give an additional thing or a benefit or a reward to all these things, how to increase or to increase this act or these things. This is the objective of the zakat. We have to look also to another verses at those Tazakka here, in this sense, it's in the sense of purification, but in another verses, it's what was mentioned in these verses also by Abu Bakr also, and this will avoid them to go to so to purify, and this is very important. It's to give what is good from his money. The Quran is trying to give us the finality and the objective of the zakat, and we have also to talk about so this is what we mean about the zakat. Here the Quran is trying to do this parallel or this balance between what is dangerous for the society, because we have to to mention also the social aspect, and what is also a necessity and very important for the society and for the individual. When we talk about the riba, what we are treating the riba, it's like what we are doing with the others. So when we give them the money, when we recall this riba, this is not permissible. Why we do the riba? It's to collect more and more money. For example, I give you 1,000 euros, and after 1 year, so I have to take 1,050 euros. The 50 euros, it's the riba. This is here. This is what we call it, riba. It's my objective. It's to get more money, and it's to increase our goods. And in this case, and especially when this shouldn't be a benefit, but it's a loss. And but the zakat, when we talk about the zakat, why we give zakat? For the love of God. Those here, all your goods will be increased, not in material sense, but also it's to purify ourselves. To give the zakat, it's to protect our goods also. And if you are thankful, I will give you more and more. This is God what said. But there is also another hadith. The Prophet said, the money like given as a zakat, if we give the zakat from our goods, your goods, because you gave the zakat, your goods will be very fruitful, and you will see everything will be very fruitful, and you know, and so what we mean, you will not face any threat, or you will not face any thing that could affect your goods in the future. So all these goods will be it's something that is very positive for the humanity, and very also for the Muslims. because this is an accomplishment of his duty, because he's accomplishing the prescription, the divine prescriptions. And also there is another thing. This will be directly reversed to the society, because the zakat, what we call it, it's a relation, a very important relation with the social aspect. As a Muslim, we believe that Islam is a global religion. When we mention global religion, this is that can, of course, that can be very close and to strengthen the ties between all the Muslims. And also we have to look also to the other economic activities and social activities. This will affect also these fields, the economic and the social fields. There is dimensions, social dimensions of the pillars of Islam. This can also, it has a very positive sense in these dimensions, collective dimensions, social dimensions. The zakat is not only the individual aspect, but this will affect also the society. The zakat, what we mean about the zakat, it's this how to strengthen the ties between the members of this community. Here, when we are, there is a rich and there is poor. The zakat must be given, must be paid based on the respect of these two categories, the rich and the poor. What rich will do with these goods in Islam? When we said, for example, the goods, with these goods there is a characteristic things, because there is a principle. It's the unicity and the management, because I believe in the unicity of God, and this thing will push me and will give me a principle, a very important principle. It's how to believe on something very strong, very powerful. What I can do, it's to give from these goods something to the poor. And because God give me these goods, so I have to follow the commands of God, and how to divide these goods for the others. And that's why God told me that you have to give the zakat. So we have to pay the zakat. And God said in the hadith, as mentioned in the hadith, that the poor are my children, and the rich are my agents. And the rich here are the agents. That's why God gave them the responsibility to manage their goods and to give their goods to the poor. And the poor are those persons taken in charge by those rich through their goods. The rich have their goods, so they have to give to the poor a part of this goods to those considered by God as his children. So the rich must give this goods to the poor. If the rich don't give to the poor these goods, so this there is a decrease in their duty. So God will punish them because they didn't accomplish their duty.
We know perfectly well that we have two types of zakat, Zakat Al Mal and Zakat Al Fitr, which comes after the fasting month, during the Al-Fitr feast. I just want to give a simple idea, a very small idea about Zakat Al-Fitr, and then come back to Zakat Al-Mal in order to know how to calculate it.
When you talk about the zakat, you will find many things, because we don't talk only about the rupture of the fast. So the zakat here we have when you break the fast or breaking the fast, and you have the zakat also from the commerce, from the trade. So, for example, we have also many things that we can extract the zakat from these goods, because the Quran mentioned those rights given from these goods, all types of goods. So we have to pay the part reserved to the poor, and we have to give it to the poor. This is what we call it, the zakat of the fruits, because we are talking also about the money here. So I have the money, so I have to give a part from this money to the poor. What are the conditions starting from which I can give the zakat, from which I can give the zakat? First of all, I must have the minimum, the charged minimum. The charge minimum, the nisab, what we call it, the nisab, the minimum charge, it's the value of 85 grams of dollars, or of gold. So here, which means that we have this nisab, and also we have so 1 year should pass. So we have to calculate this. 1 year should pass to pay and to preserve this nisab and this amount. So the position. So first we have the position of this nisab, and also we have also 1 year. And the third point, this position must have a duration of 1 year. So the nisab shouldn't be decreased. The nisab shouldn't be decreased. And if we have the nisab and we have the duration of the nisab, and if you don't have loans for any other institutions or any debts, so, if starting from here, we can give the zakat.
We're going to take this caller, Soufiane from France. Peace be upon you, Soufiane. Hello?
Yes.
Yes, you are with us live. I have many questions to ask. I wanted to know first if the money of the zakat should be paid after we have determined the amount, and I want to know also if we need to pay the zakat on the money that we have lent to one of our family members. Yes, can I ask a third question? Yes. And also the money, the money generated by banks every year. Each year we always have money on our bank account. Can we pay the zakat from this money also, or shall we separate the zakat payment from this?
You're talking about the
money.
interest?
Yes, I'm talking about the bank interests.
So you wanted to spend this money for the interests of the Muslims.
To know how to get rid of this interest on my money in the bank. No, not for my own interest, in order to benefit those who don't have money. Do you have another question, Soufiane? No, thank you. Thank you very much for this program, and may Allah reward you for all those who have thought about creating such programs. Thank you very much. So,
here for his first question. So,
shall we pay the zakat immediately?
We were talking about first. Today, I have the nisab. So I have the nisab, and I have the total nisab. And For example, this nisab today, for example, we are the 20th of January. This nisab will be as it is, or maybe will be increased in a month. So
It
it has to be increased. No, not to
But it
decrease.
shouldn't be reduced.
We will not reduce the nisab. So there will be no zakat. So the nisab must be as it is for 1 year. At the end of the year, for example, the 20 Muharram 20. So, for example, after
Next year,
the next year, so I have the same nisab. So I have to count all the money I have, the nisab, and the additional amount of money. So, for example, I will calculate 2.5%. You mean 2.05%.
2.05%.
Starting from here, this is what we call it at the moment, on this moment, after 1 year, and the nisab wasn't decreased, wasn't reduced.
It remained the same
So,
or has increased.
So I have to calculate all the amount I have, not only the nisab, but all the money. Even I have other things that I must add to this amount. If I have the nisab, I have the value of, for example, of 4.05 grams of gold. So I have to pay the zakat and to give it to those beneficiaries.
Let's take a short break and then come back. Dear viewers, stay with us. We're coming back. Welcome back, dear viewers. We are broadcasting live from Iqraa Studios, and our topic today is Zakat in Islam. We have started taking your questions and answered already our brother's questions, Sufyan. The second question pertains to the payment of the zakat.
First of all, regarding the first question, when I said that there is also a nisab after 1 year, so we have to extract or to pay the zakat at the moment, 1 year after the possession of the nisab, after the nisab. The second question was, so he give this money to another one, so he give the debit to this money to another one. So for example, so he gave this money, he paid this money to another person. This is his money, this is a debit given to another one, especially if he guarantee to pay back this money to this person. So he has to add this amount from this money, and he has to calculate and to pay the zakat from it. For the third question,
concerned the bank interest. Can we take them and give them to the poor?
For the bank interest, based, of course, on the majority of the Muslims, it's not permissible to benefit from this interest individually. But what we have to do with this interest, we must pay this interest to the poor or to those persons, for example, who are building mosques, and that has a very big interest to all the Muslims, for all the Muslims.
That doesn't have to do anything, that has nothing to do with the zakat. Dina via Skype, she's asking if she can call her daughter Dunya. she has a newborn and she wanted to know if she can give her the name Dunya, which means life in Arabic.
The names not permissible, that can't have any sense or something that concern, for example, when we say Rasul, Nabi, Abd al-Rasul, Abd al-Nabi, those names are not permissible. Everything concerning what concern when we mention God, or we shouldn't give them these names. So we have to choose the names, the beautiful names that have significance. So here there is no inconvenience to give her the name of Dunya. So we have to seek names that have a sense, that have a significance, that virtue, and this what may be a name of one of the companion of our Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him. There is no inconvenience to give her this name.
Fine. We're going to go back to the zakat. I want to talk about Zakat Al Fitr. How to calculate Zakat Al Fitr, and can we give it in food, or is it a must to pay it in money?
Of all, we pay the Zakat Al Fitr because there is a moment where when we have to give this zakat, and after that we can call it a zakat. We can give it the name of zakat because we must pay this amount of money after the sunset, the last day of the Ramadan, the day before the Eid. Here it goes to or before the prayer of the Eid. When we accomplish the prayer of Eid, it will not be a zakat. It can be for example, a Sadakah or a charity.
We'll take this caller and then we will talk about the calculation of this type of zakat. We have Rania from France. Yes, good evening. Peace be with you. It was for asking you a question. I wanted to know what are the signs of the spiritual healing. How can we get rid of a harm that we have like a jinn or bad spirit?
How did you know that? How do you know that there is a jinn with you?
It's an imam who was doing a spiritual healing, and he was asking me questions and understood through my answers that I was affected by a bad spirit.
What advices gave you?
He did some ruqya on me, some spiritual healing, and I personally do my homework, which means that I am reading and reciting Quran and listening to CDs, verses.
That la ruqya, you're doing the ruqya.
Yes, sometimes I do it myself, but sometimes I listen to verses from the Noble Quran.
You can read the Quran in Arabic?
No, but I can't read it, but I can recite few verses.
Do you have the capabilities to read the Quran or to...
Yes, I have. I can do it in Arabic,
You can.
but I cannot write in Arabic. My only problem is the writing, but I can...
It's reading
Can you
the
read
Quran
it?
in Arabic.
In Arabic, yes.
Can you, for example, take the Mus'haf or the Quran and you
Yes.
to read it?
No, to be honest, I can read it in phonetically, but I listen to CDs, so I can have an idea.
So your question concern it's the signs. You
Yes,
mean
the signs. How can we know and make sure that we are healing? Because really, it has been a long time since I am seeing changes.
Until now, you didn't feel anything after the ruqya.
Yes, I really feel some changes. But how can we know that it has totally been healed? Because I have noticed some changes in me. I used to be paranoid. I used to have phobias, and used to have nightmares in the past. And it has, all this has stopped. But often when I listen to the ruqya, I have an image in my head. I have a picture, a certain picture in my head, and I have no idea why I have it all the time. So this is why I wanted to ask you about the signs. Radia from France, we're going to answer you. Thank you. We have Fatiha from France. Hello? Yes? Peace be with you. I wish to ask you a question regarding zakat. Those who put their money in a real estate, for instance, they are buying an apartment, how are they going to pay the zakat? Whatever is the value of this apartment, whether it's utile or not, whether it's useful or not. How do you have another question? No, maybe yes. Sometimes I discuss with my friends, and they really are worried about the way payment of the zakat. They know that if they have debts, for instance, they are exempted from paying al-zakat. Is this true? And regarding the apartment that we wish to buy, or putting money in real estate, is this a must to pay the zakat?
So for the last question, she was talking about the apartment. So she bought, and she has the money, and she bought the apartment. So she said that she bought the apartment for which reasons? Is it because I want to use this apartment for my family?
Which means that I'm living in this apartment.
She's living in this apartment. Yes, this is my apartment. So here there is no zakat because I don't have the money here. So it's the apartment. There is no zakat if it's the case. And if she bought this apartment and I will rent this apartment, from here the zakat, it's not the money of this apartment, but the revenue of this apartment.
Can we give an example?
I will give you an example. When I rent an apartment, so for example, 1,000 euro per month. So I have to calculate at the end of the month 24 euros, at which time I must have this income, this minimum charged. For example, the value of the 25 grams, 85 grams of gold. So it's not only the income of the apartment. So maybe it could be other incomes from other goods or other things that we belong to it. So first of all, the rent
if my salary is not enough
of the apartment, if it is not sufficient,
I cannot
so there is no zakat.
Save
no,
a certain amount of money.
So I have to spend what I need, for example, to spend all my salary, so this here, from here, there is no nisab. Everything that you preserved on the side, and you can say that we can use it. So you had to calculate, and you found a nisab. For example, the 1st of Muharram, you have the nisab. So we have to calculate all the nisab for 1 year. For example, this nisab must be as it is for 1 year, lunar year, and I have no debits. So I have to pay back all my debits. In this case, I have to pay the zakat, so I have to calculate the income with, in addition to other incomes or other amounts of money I have. So it's this nisab will be for 1 year, so I have to pay the zakat from this nisab and everything I have as amount of money, additional amount of money. So from here, which she has to pay the zakat. This is why we got it for the rent of this apartment. And for the second question, it's related in a way to the same subject. Here, for example, if I have, when I work in a trad or in apartments, for example, today I buy an apartment and then I will sell it to obtain benefits or benefits. So this is why we call it here the trade. It's not the trade of the money, but we can calculate it in different way. It's not the same case here.
We have another caller. Let's take it if you allow me to. We have another Soufiane on the phone. Peace be with you, Soufiane. My question is regarding pilgrimage. Is a bank loan or a debt can be an obstacle to perform pilgrimage for a person?
Yes, can you... For example, this is what you mean. You mean that if you have debts,
yes,
so you can accomplish the pilgrimage?
Yes, I have two answers. My first answer is that the first answer that was provided to me was no, because since few years I had a bank loan, bank loan, yes, and they told me that I cannot go to the perform pilgrimage unless I can expiate this debt.
Great.
Thank you very much.
So we had to start by...
We're going to answer Soufiane's question. Pilgrimage.
Here, this depends on the answer. The answer here depends if the pilgrimage is prescribed all my life. What I mean here, for example, I can do the pilgrimage, or I can do the pilgrimage once I have the money. There is a divergence here. So to answer this viewer, so I will tell him that you must first of all to avoid the loan, the bank loan. This is not permissible, because when you accomplish the pilgrimage, or when you do the pilgrimage for you, if you don't have the capabilities, those who can who have these capabilities, financial capabilities, physical capabilities, and that can allow us to accomplish the pilgrimage. If you have all these capabilities, so you can go to pilgrimage. But if you don't have these capabilities, so God will not, for example, blame those who cannot go to pilgrimage. So this is a facility. So you don't have to go to take the loan, the bank loan, to go to pilgrimage. This is not a necessity. Once you have all the possibility, financial possibility, or so here it's an obligatory. You can accomplish the pilgrimage. You have to accomplish the pilgrimage. For example, you have a friend who can give you the amount of the pilgrimage, and with this amount, after 2 years, you will pay back this amount of money. You have the possibility, the capability to pay back your friend
the same amount.
Yeah, without the interest here. This is what I'm saying. For the first case, it's not permissible because it's a credit. It's a loan bank with interest. So we can't go to pilgrimage with a loan, a bank loan with interest. So we have to look for something legal. So we shouldn't use. We don't need to use something illegal or to go to pilgrimage. For example, we can found the association, and we can say to each one of those members of this association to pay 1,000 euros. So the first person who's gonna obtain this amount of money, so starting from these 20,000 of euros, he can go for pilgrimage. In this case, we can say you can obtain this loan, but it's not a bank loan, but a debit from a friend of yours who's given you this amount to go for pilgrimage, because the pilgrimage is once a life in our life. So especially when we have the possibility, financial possibility, and we have the capability also, because God is seeking to facilitate things for us. So if you have this possibility to go to pilgrimage with this money,
we're going to take the scholar Madani from France. Peace be with you. My wife has performed pilgrimage this year, and currently she has to go to the hospital in order to do a general checkup, and she's going to be checked by male doctors.
I couldn't understand your question. Could you please
repeat your question?
The question?
My wife has performed pilgrimage this year, and she's currently at the hospital. She needs to do a re-education at the hospital. Yes, she has performed pilgrimage this year. Now she's sick, and she's at the hospital.
What do you mean?
She's going to do a physiotherapy at the hospital, and she needs to be checked by male doctors. Is it permissible or not? Because she has to be clothed very, very lightly. It's like a physiotherapy.
It's not a physiotherapy.
She has to do it very soon at the hospital. Can she do it or not?
Yes, if this person who's training your wife is a
it's
man
really very
or a woman.
variable, because we're not sure. We're not sure. We live in France, so hospitals can be can have male and female doctors. After the break, dear viewers, we're going to answer your questions. Stay with us. Welcome back, dear viewers. We are receiving your questions and your emails. We have Tawfiq from France. Peace be with you. I have 3 quick questions, but it has nothing to do with the zakat. It's no problem, you can ask them still. Regarding purchasing an apartment, scholars have said many times that it's probably not permissible if it's not really a necessity, since it's done via banks. I just wanted to know if it's not better to pay a rent all our life rather than buying an apartment or a property. I didn't understand your question. I want to ask this question for Dr. Sami. Do they recommend this authorization that is permitting us to buy an apartment or to purchase an apartment via the banks? Allah, glory to Him, talks about the arrogant person. But one of the names and attributes of Allah, glory to Him, is the Mutakabbir. So what does this mean? And is it pejorative also? There is a hadith also that says that if a person learns and memorizes the Quran, and if they do it loudly, then it's not permissible. I just wanted to know if this hadith is authenticated. Just about the authenticity of this hadith, please. Thank you very much, and may God bless you. Ruqayya from France. Peace be with you, Ruqayya.
Allô? Ruqayya, je vous entends. D'accord, pas de problème.
Ruqayya, I'm hearing you. Okay, fine, no problems. Try to call us again. We'll start from...
We're going to start by the questions from
Radia's
our
questions regarding
normally when we say
the jinn.
When we say, so, for example, someone who's touching the jinn, here there's many things to say, especially concerning these questions. So we must give the sense that there is something, and because she went to see an imam and she already did the ruqya and to try to read the Quran, just to try to read the Quran, and also to have the cure, the real cure, because the Quran is the cure for this. Maybe it's possible, but what I'm talking here, someone who's feeling something like this, if he has the possibility to read the Quran, so he has to do it himself or herself, because there is many Muslims, they are reading the Quran in Arabic, but they can't maybe read it in Arabic, But if we have the possibility to read the Quran in Arabic, so I prefer to read all the verses, the verse of the Baqarah. So my purpose here is to obtain the real cure for these things. If we read, for example, the verse of Baqarah on the surface of the water, and after that we can wash our body from this water. It's not in the toilet, but away from the toilet. And after that, yes.
We have Ruqayya again on the phone. Peace be with you, Ruqayya.
Oui.
Yes?
Alaykoum
Peace
salam.
be with you.
En fait, moi, je suis Rokia de France. J'aimerais vous poser une question.
I wanted to ask you a question.
Je suis dans
My name is Ruqayya from France.
Donc, du coup, j'aimerais savoir,
I wanted to know,
vu que j'ai une dame qui veut que je garde sa fille, mais c'est pas un travail déclaré.
since I'm
Donc, hors de
working as a babysitter, but it's not,
cet enfant,
I haven't made this job public, so is it licit or illicit? Can I babysit this child?
So, in your
Yes,
in
it's
your
at home.
apartment, you want to
chercher un papier pour être
I tried to have an official paper in order and regular paper in order to make
trying
my
to follow
job
the procedures
public.
to obtain your papers, your legal paper, and to be declared.
Yes.
What do you mean by babysitter here?
Can I babysit this
What
this
do you
child?
mean about babysit?
Yes, to keep this child to help his mother who's working. So during
And,
the entire day, the
after,
baby is with me.
c'est ça. En deux
After that, you can give her son. You mean to take in charge of this child, and or are you going to give breast to this children?
I
or
didn't
to
quite
breast,
understand.
these children? Are you gonna
pour garder
breastfeed these
No,
children?
no, it's only to babysit this child.
mais c'est un travail qui n'est pas déclaré.
But it's not a public. What I mean is that I didn't declare this job, so it's not. I didn't make it public.
Donc,
So first of all, we have to continue what we started about the jinn, and I will advise those who can recite or read the Quran to read the verse of Baqarah on the surface or in a quantity of water, and then to wash himself or herself with this water away from the toilets. But if we don't have the possibility to listen to the radio or to the CDs, if I can't do all these, I can at least read even the verse of the Kursi on the surface of water in the cup or in a glass of water, and after that drink this water, and I will try to protect myself from the jinn, and especially when I go also to the toilet, so I have to recite certain invocations because the apartment or of the jinn, it's in these places there is jinn. For example, I can say when I'm going to the toilet, I can do certain invocations like this one. So I have to protect myself against these persons or against the jinn when I start going or entering the toilet. And after after that, I can say thanks God. Now I have to be thankful to God, and start from the beginning of the day. I have certain invocations to mention, and at the end of the day Also, there is other invocations, and before going to sleep, as I mentioned, so I can do the ablutions and also to recite the Fatiha, the Kursi, and also God, also Qul Huwa Allahu Ahad. And I had to put my hands on my face and to wipe off my body with my hands, and to protect myself with the jinn. In the future, we can give more details about this subject.
I want to answer Sufyan's question regarding the pilgrimage. He doesn't want to take any money from anyone. He doesn't want to have debts, and he has a bank loan. What is it that he needs to do?
He has his money in the bank already, so he can
he has a bank
go
loan
for the pilgrimage. Here it's another thing. This is what we call it. For example, he's paying that using the Visa card.
I don't really know. He didn't specify exactly.
If it's a credit, it's not permissible to use this bank loan, to go to pilgrimage. But if he's using the credit card,
I didn't quite understand. What I understood is that he has a bank loan, and he didn't pay all the loan again. He didn't pay the bank. He didn't finish pay the payment of this loan. Is it possible for him to perform pilgrimage even though he didn't finish paying back the loan?
He has to try to pay back all his loans.
So we should not have any debt before performing pilgrimage.
Doing the pilgrimage or going to the pilgrimage. If it's the time, especially when he can, for example, he has a bank loan, and after that I can give you an appointment for the next year. So, but here I have the money for the pilgrimage. He has all the time to pay back his debts.
What if the loan is going to take 20 years?
If he didn't go for the pilgrimage without paying back his loans, so he shouldn't have a bank loan to do.
We have Fatima from France. Peace be with you. My question is very similar to the question raised by our Sheikh. My husband has a bank loan, and he has stopped paying it back because he doesn't have the means. Yes, he had a bank loan in order to buy an apartment at home.
In the country, in his country.
No, in my country, back home.
You mean
in his original country, yeah. Now he's there, and the bank loan is not being paid back because my husband doesn't have the means.
So he couldn't pay back the bank loan.
Yes, he stopped paying back the loan. And he wanted to perform pilgrimage, if God wills, next year, or maybe... Is it possible?
He has the capabilities or the possibilities.
Yes.
So why he stopped paying back his bank loan?
Because he doesn't work here, so he went there for a job. Yes,
his country.
In his country. And because of his income, he cannot really continue paying back the loan.
We will try, of course, to answer your questions.
Thank you.
A problem, a very serious problem here. Here, he stopped paying back his bank loan because the contract to build an apartment in his country of origin. So we have this question: is it urgent and necessary to build an apartment in his country? Is it the necessity does subject or to build this apartment in his country of origin? I think, in my opinion, it's not a necessity. So he shouldn't he shouldn't proceed to this operation to stop building. So if he has the possibility to rent an apartment, so we have to respect our engagements, our commitments. So we must pay an amount every month, so we can stop paying. And if we can't now, if we stop give these rights, I'm not talking about the interest sake. So we have to pay these rights, to give these rights to those who gave us this amount of money. So we must perform the pilgrimage. We must pay back all our loans, bank loans, and also the other rights. So we have to pay back, if we have the possibility to pay back all the debits and all the bank loan, sure. So he has to do it before performing the pilgrimage. But if he has the possibility to go to pilgrimage, I don't see the necessity to do this before paying back all his debits, because the pilgrimage is a duty if we pay or if we have the possibility and the capability to do it.
We're going to take a short break and then come back. Welcome back, dear viewers. We're broadcasting live from Iqraa Studios. I want to start by this question. Zainab from France, who called us and asked us to raise this question. She was married since 18 years and she got divorced because he was hiding a certain moral aspect that she was not aware of. Then this man asked her to give him the dowry. So is it a must for her to pay him the dowry that was paid for her during the marriage? How, and if yes, how is it going to be calculated? Because it has been a long period of time. 18 years is quite a long period of time. How would the calculation?
So the question concerns the dowry or all these changes of the values. So first of all, we have to talk about something very important. Here we agree about how to stop this relation. It's the divorce by the man. And the second thing, the woman can sue this man to obtain the divorce because she doesn't feel relaxed in this relation, because her husband is causing her more harms, and that's why she wants to go and to sue him and to obtain the divorce because she wants, and also she can obtain the Khula, what we call it the Khula. And starting from here, we can say that they are divorced because there is a decision to do so, and they are divorced since years, since long time ago. So for the moment, we are talking because
She asked for divorce.
for the moment, since 18 years, so we agreed about to stop this relation. The husband, the wife don't want anymore to continue together. So that's why they announced this divorce. And now they are
Yes.
asking.
He asked her to pay him the dowry.
So is it the kind of what we call it the khula, for example? The question is not clear here. Is it the khula if it's the khula if she's asking to divorce him and he's insisting about to pay him back the dowry? So here what we call it khula.
In this case, how to calculate the dowry, the value of this dowry?
The dowry, it's what is written. It's a debit. When we said debit, there is two debits. It should be paid back in two cases. For example, in our contract, so we have to pay back this dowry. First of all, after the death and the death of the husband, or once they obtain the divorce, both of them. So the dowry here, this debit, we can say, must, the husband shouldn't ask any additional amount even if it's after 18 years. If she look more, so this is considered by a riba and interest.
Very good. Let's go back to another question. I think we have covered everything. We have a caller, Fatima from France. Hello, Fatima. Yes, peace be with you, Fatima. I have a question. Yes, go ahead. I was married and I used to have a stable work, and then I divorced and I have a bank loan that I couldn't pay back. And then I delayed the payment, so I
what
wanted
do you mean
to
about
know.
this question? Now
Yes.
you're divorced.
Yes. Because I used to have a bank loan with my husband in the past in order to buy a property at home, but then got divorced because he insults me, he cheated on me, and then during the divorce period I lost my job. That's why I couldn't pay my share of the loan, and I had asked for a delay
What is the question?
for the payment. What you want to perform the pilgrimage? I wanted to know how, if I could go to Mecca.
What is permissible? Is it French?
Yes, I used to have a bank loan. I paid half of this bank loan, but I couldn't pay the other half.
Now you have the possibilities and to perform the pilgrimage.
Not now, but it's just a question in general in order to see if I could perform pilgrimage in the future, in the near future. Now I am divorced. I don't have a job. And I have told the bank that I don't have the means to pay my share. and the bank accepted. The bank accepted to cancel her half, actually, her share of the debt.
If the bank said that, so she has no debits or no bank loan, this is what we understood from her question. So we will try to so if the bank decided to accept her papers, so she has no bank loan, so if you have the possibility, sufficient possibilities to perform or to live in easier, so you have the possibility also to perform the pilgrimage. In this case, this pilgrimage is obligatory for you if you have the financial possibility.
I just received a question from Dina via Skype. She's taking driving lessons in order to get the license for the driving license. During these lessons, it's a male trainer who is teaching her how to drive. Her husband doesn't accept this. Can she still do it or not?
Here, many aspects can be involved in this issue, and the man who's giving you lessons to obtain your driving license, if this will, for example, this situation, if the man who's, for example, giving this woman courses to obtain the driving license, if there is any contact between them, if he's touching her, or he puts his hands on a
I think the driving lesson doesn't require
here,
touching
I don't know
or
the case
anything.
exactly, but if we have this case, the man who's giving courses to this woman to obtain her driving license, they are in the car, but normally they are in a
The
public
fact to
place.
be alone with a
It's a
male,
vehicle. So, which means that they are in a street, in a public, that there is no isolation, because they are not alone. We are not in a house.
we need to be go very fast because we only have 1 minute.
There is no inconvenience that this man, so if there is, in this case, they can, if her husband can
Very
give
good.
her,
Last
give her
question.
lessons.
Tawfiq's question. The
The
Mutakabbir,
arrogance
the name of
here,
one of the attributes of Allah.
the arrogant, said, God said in the Quran, the kibr in the hadith said that it's which means here that he doesn't accept the veracity, and you are trying to see the others in a different way with arrogance, so you don't accept the reality. In this case, what we said, you are arrogant, and those are in the hellfire. And there is many hadith for those who are not applying the Quran. They are reading or the Quran just to show the others that they are believers and they are reading the Quran. It's here, it's a sin. So if they will be punished by God, and especially in the judgment day.
So we have come to the end of our episode for today. Thank you for being with us, Dr. Samin Mandour. Until we meet again, dear viewers, thank you very much for being with us, and may Allah protect and bless you.